All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I am your host, Tahoe Anime. Still working on this opening. Not sure what to do quite yet. I'll figure it out though. Take some time. So hey Alex, good morning. So today's stream is going to be a little bit different. We'll see how I do here. So for anybody that saw my post online on Instagram or on for the stream coming up and stuff like that, today we're going to, I'm probably not going to work on, I might not work on anything at all. Stream might be a little bit shorter. It just really depends on how I feel and if I can get into the creative mode or not. But today we're going to look at some photos, some old photos. Because, and I'll switch over to that now. All right, there we go. On Sunday, our assistant Patch passed away. So we had to take him in, and yeah, so he got to have his last treat that you all were able to put together with our last challenge for him last week, and yeah, it was his time. He's old. He's an old man. It's hard, sad. I keep doing that thing where I have waves of I'm okay and then waves where I'm not okay in weird ways. I think it would be one thing if like we had adopted a dog at one point, and I think we had him for maybe 3 or 4 months, and he became really, really sick, and we had to take him to the vet and have him put to sleep because he had some weird like internal scarring and stuff like that, and that was sad because it was way before his time kind of thing. But this is a little different because we got the 20 years for a cat is a god dang long time. Like we were looking at something, what was it, the scale for what age a cat is in like human years, and most scales stop at 16. So we were like, oh, okay. You beat the odds by a lot, my friend. So he outlived the majority, so which is cool. I saw the post about it yesterday. My condolences. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate it. He's a good friend. He's a good cat. It's just gonna be weird. It's just gonna be weird. We've gotten so used to all his little, his little things that he did and stuff, and to wake up this morning and not have any of them kind of thing, to know he's not going to be screaming in the background in the middle of one of these streams is kind of weird. All I can do is try to laugh at it. Yeah. Like I said, I had my ups and downs yesterday. It was, I would go from I'm okay and goddamn, he lasted a long time and gave us a lot of memories, and then there are moments where I'm just like, sucks. So it's a roller coaster at the moment, but I didn't know what else to do today. I just kind of didn't know how I felt about working on stuff. I know I've got stuff to get done. Some of it has to do with him. He's gonna be in book 3, so it'll be hard not having him around and having to create stories around him and stuff like that. New experiences. It was different when Buttons passed away. That one was hard as well. I don't think this ever gets easier. Anytime this happens, I don't give a shit if it's a animal or human or whatever. Like, when something passes away that's important to you, it's fucking hard. And it never gets easier, I don't think. Maybe it shouldn't, I don't know. I'm gonna wax poetic as much as I can throughout all of this, if I can. Shit. But no, like I said, it keeps hitting me when I think about the story that's coming out this year, book 3 with Patch in it and stuff like that. And the awesome part is that I know he's a cat and everything else like that, but he got to be around to see the final product at the very least, and see his triumphant introduction into the story. So he got to help me put it together. He got to, especially here on stream, like he got to be around for basically that entire production cycle, and yell and scream at me about the adjustments I needed to make. So it's cool. It's cool, sad, back and forth, like I said. But I thought I'd go through some photos. I was able to jump onto my iPhotos this morning, and I typed in so iPhoto does this fun thing where you can actually type in like a search, and it will try to go through and identify any of the photos that match what it thinks is in your search query. So I just put in cat because, you know, we've had 2 cats in our lives. We've had Buttons and Patch. I was just like, okay, I'll be able to like weed that out pretty easily. Not too bad. It kept trying to bring in photos of Sora. So you kept seeing the black and white and being like, oh, this is a cat. And I'm like, no, this is not a cat. That's a dog. That's a husky. I know that huskies, especially ours, acts like a cat, and our what do they call it? Tuxedo cat actually is the huskies of cats. So I'm like, I understand the computer's confusion, but at the same time, you're making more work for me is what I had to go through. But yeah, that's what I thought. I got permission from Dreamer to have some pictures with her in here too, so I figure we just kind of go through. Okay, we have a lot. I think this says there's like 500 of them here. I don't know. We may go through all of them, may not. Probably we'll go through them just for shits and giggles. I need something to do today. But yeah, this is Patch. Look, he's got, you can't see his little toe beans. He had the black and white toe beans on all of his feet too. I don't remember if he had, I'll have to look through the rest of the photos or not, if he had one that was just one color or not. I think they were all mixed beans. Pretty sure. But he was just a little guy. So we adopted him when we lived in Sacramento while we were going to college. 3 years after we adopted Buttons. So Buttons was 3 years old by the time Patch came into the picture here. And he was just a little guy. We got him from the same shelter too, so I don't know what it was. It just something about him that Dreamer just gravitated towards and was just like, this is the one. I don't know what it was. She may have more information on that at some point, but yeah, drawn to him. So he came home with us. It's kind of along the lines of I think it's one of the jokes that I put into book number 3, right? And it's a lot. If you talk to any kind of cat people, cat parents, they'll tell you, once you have one, you start asking the question, well, are they bored when they're, you know, by themselves at home? Like they need a sibling to, you know, keep them occupied, you know, like that's typically the story you get from a cat owners, is like, once you get one, this is like, well, you gotta get him a brother. Like, it just happens. So I make a couple of jokes about that in the in book number 3. Probably have a couple more throughout the rest of the series too, but it's fun. He was just a little guy. He, like I said, he fell in love with Dreamer like right off the bat. He chose her, she chose him, but he definitely chose her. That was they were made for each other, I gotta say. Yes, and yes, he was a goober, quite a goober. You'll see as we get through some of the other photos later on, when he's bigger, he slept like this still. Like, it didn't, he 15, 16, 17, 18, all the way up until he was like 19 years old. Sometimes we would just find him in random places, just kind of conked out like this in weird, stretched out ways. So this never changed. This was consistent throughout all 20 years of his life. That's funny. But yeah, you can dig a little bit of his multicolored toe beans down there again. Yeah, he's got one pink one, a couple black and pink ones. Just a little guy. Just passed out as fuck. Just didn't care. He was comfy. He was happy. We oh man, look at that. I think he was interested in what we were doing. The greenness of eyes too. Just a little floofy goober. He also had the pinkest belly too. Now, this was this after his surgery? Before his surgery? I think this is pre-surgery. I don't remember. But yeah, he was definitely had a thin belly, so the pink came through a whole bunch down there. Yep, there's more dead bellies. He was also, so you know how like people talk about ragdoll cats and that they're just like super agreeable and they'll just let you do whatever you want to them. Patch was very similar. He was not a ragdoll by any means, but because he definitely didn't have the long hair. Even though he did have like silky smooth, like he was very clean, very smooth with his coat and stuff like that. But yeah, not long or whatever, but like he'd let you do weird stuff like this. We'll get through some more pictures of stuff he let me do to him that he was just like, okay, this is cool. No big deal. Just a little guy. Just being a goober. More toe beans. Yeah, just mixes here and there. Maybe that back left foot he had. No, because that one bean is a little mixed there too. So, but we brought him home and we weren't sure how Buttons was going to react to a new kitten being brought into the house. So we did a little bit of our due diligence. We kept them apart for a minute and stuff like that, and let them explore around and let Patch explore Buttons' space, because Buttons has been around for a while, and gave Buttons things for him to smell so that he can get used to the smell of Patch. But even like we did some early introduction tests and stuff like that, and Buttons was never worried, scared, mad. Like he just took to Patch so fast. He's just like, oh, you're from the same shelter as me. Oh, come on, dude. I know exactly what's going on. Like it was super simple. He was really cool about it. And they became really good friends really fast, which was also very awesome. It made it easy because then we could get to the fun parts and playing and doing stuff and not worry that they were gonna smack the snot out of each other. Don't get me wrong, they did wrestle and mess with each other, but this was generally the result is let's go cuddle somewhere. Yeah. So like Buttons is 3 by this time, so, but he wasn't worried. He would share. He would share Dreamer. Essentially what had happened. He's just like, yeah, I'll share. She's my favorite, but I'll share. Some of these pictures is basically the background behind the design and stuff for the characters that I'm working on right now. So you can definitely tell in this photo, Buttons had those bright yellow eyes, and Patch had those green eyes. So I juiced them a little bit for the characters in the books and stuff like that, but for good reason. This is a picture of me and Patch. So he had fallen asleep. I had one of those zip up sweaters, and he had crawled into the chair next to me, but inside of the sweater. So this is him just curled up inside of my on my hip in my sweater, just like conked out, just a little rolled up in there. There you go. Some more agreeable Patch things early on. He liked to just hang out on shoulders. I tried to teach him to be up there all the time, and as much as he was okay with it, it never took off. It never stuck. Even though he did sleep on Dreamer's head for like 10-15 years. Maybe it did work, but just not in the way I thought it did. I don't know. So also ignore the numbers down at the bottom of the photo. Half of those are not correct. They're the wrong dates. Just chilling. Just being a chill boy. Yeah. He also had this weird obsession with sniffing your ears. He's not doing it here, but like he would always come up and try to sniff me right in the ear. He was a weirdo. But yeah, like, he's just totally chill, just relaxed up there, just watching everything. But you can tell even, like, I don't remember if this was how long after we got him, but he's starting to fill in pretty fast here. There's a double Patch. This is when we were playing with some filters on the computer. Yep, all curled up in a little ball. His little bed. With his little scrunched up toes down there. Just a silly chili bean all around. This was the thing that, so that's blush on his face. And you would think, oh, Tahoe, that's funny. He must have done that once. No, this was quite frequent. Dreamer would have some of her stuff on the counters, and when she would open it, he would just rush over and stick his face right in it. We don't know if he was thinking it was food or what, but yeah. This happened quite a few times. He eventually learned that's probably not a good idea. But yeah, it took several times of him doing it before he realized, maybe I shouldn't do that. All over his face. Just all over his face. That's me. Me again. Me with the 2 cats. Buttons and Patch. You can see, like, Patch is much bigger here, but they started cuddling together. They were best friends. They were just like chill with all of that. Not a problem. Now here's Patch. He's starting to get bigger. Not as much of a pink belly anymore, but still willing to lay on his back, which was weird. There's the Cuddle Boys doing their thing. We also had, we were up on the 2nd story of our apartment, and the birds would fly and land on the railing on the outside, so they were obsessed with being able to look out the glass window, the glass slider, and see them. I don't remember Patch ever doing the chirping thing. So like cats will do the like chatter, whatever it is. I can't do an example of it very well. We probably have a video somewhere of him doing, of Buttons doing it, because Buttons would do it all the time. He would talk to the birds like as if he was having a conversation. It's pretty funny. There he is. There's Patch. This picture will actually come into... This is an interesting photo because this is the basis for a different story later down the road in our books. I'm not going to explain anything about it right now, but you'll just have to stay tuned to check it out. But yeah, here's Patch in the sun. He almost looks like his eyes are a little bit yellow here, but I think that's just because of the way the camera captured it. But he got them green eyes. Yeah, super white fur, kept it nice and clean, so he wasn't dirty or dingy or anything like that. It never yellowed, it never changed color or anything like that. Oh, look, there's some paintings of mine in the background. Meep. Some close-ups. Little goober boy. Yeah, he would try sometimes to get on other people's shoulders. He's kind of partially in her hood a little bit, but you can tell he's definitely becoming a big boy by this time. More sleepy photos. When we get to closer to the end of this set of photos and stuff like that, there's way more sleepy photos. These ones were always the funniest ones. So we had an IKEA rocking chair, and Buttons would go up and lay on the chair, and then Patch would come up and he would lay between that pillow and Buttons and then slowly stretch himself out and then sink between. Yeah. So he was the hot dog to that hamburger bun is essentially what he was doing. It was pretty funny. That was common too. He did that a bunch. And for reference, his head is over on the right-hand side. He's right there. Sometimes they would do head to tail, but... Yep, playing in the little cat tree. Hanging out. Even though we joke about the idea that, you know, we wanted to get Buttons a little brother so that he had somebody to hang out with. I mean, he really did. Like, they hung out so much and did stuff. Got into trouble when we weren't home. Like, they did all the things that they were supposed to do, so they were trouble incarnate for sure. We didn't do anything. And then they go to wrestling. Yeah, Buttons is like, I didn't do anything. Classic kid, you know, wrestling fight. It wasn't me. Yep, more cuddle times. Okay, so here we go. We're getting into some of the photos, a couple photos that very much resemble some of his sleeping positions that he got into in the past 5 years here. Between a pillow and a wall up on the couch. So very common for him. It's funny to see him that he was doing it then at this end and doing it now as well. Yeah, just a little squeezed in there. Nobody could find him sometimes. It was funny. But you know, if it was dinner time, he'd be flying into the kitchen to get his dinner, so that was his big thing. This was the other, remember I was talking about him on the shoulder. I think this is the product of that, is that he would sleep a lot on Dreamer's head. And you could see, look how big he's gotten. He was a big boy. He got really fat at one point. Like, he really enjoyed his food. He never got, he got fat, but he wasn't as big as Buttons. Buttons was just a big cat. Like, We called him a panther because he just was like, not that he dwarfed Patch, but like substantially in size wise, he was just bigger. Patch looks like my dad's cat. That's cool. Does your dad have a tuxedo cat as well, black and white? A lot of tuxedos have, which is interesting, they have very similar patterning on their faces and stuff like that, which I find fascinating. Because you would think, because there are random patterns and stuff like that, but there seems to be something about some of the facial designs and stuff like that that they have, which is kind of common, which I don't know why that would be, what genetic purpose that would serve, but yeah, they do. Just chilling. The chill boys. Okay, so here we go. We're starting to get a little chunkies. I say starting. Yeah, he was a big boy for a while. He loved eating food. And look, definitely no pink bellies now. Definitely no. But still letting me, roll him over on his back like that, and it was okay with it. He was just a weirdo. He was very agreeable. Like, throughout his entire 20 years, whether it didn't matter if it was new people that came into the house or like, he was generally agreeable with everybody. There was a few people that he did not get along with at all and didn't want to have anything to do with them. But like when we brought dogs and other cats and everything into the house, he was generally fine with all of them. I went the wrong way. Okay, so this is us once we moved into our new house. Both cats got a wonderful drive in the car. Buttons had been in the car several times before because we'd had him for 3 years and we needed to move him around a little bit during that time. But Patch, when we finally moved back home to our to around our family and stuff like that, he got to go on his first car ride. He did not like that car ride. He yowled the whole time. And I think Buttons kept looking at him and being like, dude, shut up. Like, you're fine. This is no big deal. Like, I used to sit on the console and ride in the car like all the time. Like, we're good, dude. It was funny. Now they are all curled up. Yeah, we had a black blanket at one point, and there were several times where we lost Buttons because he just blended into that blanket so well. Here's your Patch. He was also very photogenic. He liked to be... I'll say that, and then I'll give you the caveat for that, which is that for the entirety of his 20 years, there's probably not a photo in our, I think it's like 16,000 or 20,000 photo library and videos, where Patch does not show up in the background of a photo or a video almost every time. Like if we are at home doing some type of event or whatever it is, there is a Patch somewhere in a photo or video. He just loved to be around all of that and photobomb everything he could. It was pretty funny. This is Patch meeting Jeff for the first time. Buttons was a little bit wary, but Patch was just like he knew something was up. He used to spend a lot of time with Dreamer. Both cats did when she was pregnant and stuff like that, but Patch was the one that came up and was curious. And we did spend some time together, all three of us. That was Patch's choice to lay down right there. And I was tired. See, there's Dreamer. There's Dreamer with Jeff. Both cats on the lap. See, now they're having to share with the baby, so then they had to work together and be agreeable with not only each other, but with the new addition as well. And they were totally cool with it. They never tried to climb in either of the kids' cribs or anything like that. And we made sure to keep them out of there and teach them that wasn't okay. But yeah, they were chill. They had no interest in sleeping with the baby at all. They would just come and sleep with us, both cats. And then they would sleep with each other. All the cuddles. There's Patch. And there's Jeff, a little bit bigger. And he's starting to recognize Patch and Buttons and stuff like that. But Patch would come investigate. Buttons would check in on things, like, and watch things from afar. He might come up and sniff the kids every once in a while, but Patch was always just like, he would let them like grab him and stuff like that a little bit. He was very curious cat. Okay, here we go. This is definitely there should be a couple photos here of Patch showing off his full fatness. There we go. There's a good belly fat photo. Big cat. He had the big belly balls, the big swinging belly balls. And yes, he did trap himself in the shower. We did not do that. It was cracked, and when he tried to climb out, it closed on him. So we got to find him in there. That was fun. Definitely the fats. More of the rolling around on his back. Not one to let you pet his belly, though. That was not his deal. Did not like that. He would tempt you with it, be like, look at it. Look how fat it is. It's definitely floofy. You want to pet it. He would not let you pet it. That was not his thing. But yeah, he would hang out with Jeff and even Michelle later when she came into the picture. Just chill. Very curious. And Jeff was curious about him. We had a couple other house moves during that time. He even lived at my parents' house for a time, and they had a cat. So there were actually 3 cats all together at one point in one house, and they got along just fine. No problems there either. Oh, this is just a picture of Buttons. Buttons, this is after Michelle was born. So Buttons had this fun thing where he would lick his paw and make a little tuft of hair, and then he would suck on that tuft of hair on his paw. That was kind of like his comfort thing that he would go and do. So at one point he goes over and lays on Michelle and does that. I think it's the only instance that we have of him actually doing that on one of the kids. He picked Michelle. He's like, you are the one. This is Patch getting into trouble because his cat food was no longer enough, and he needed to find other foods to try to eat in the world. So he would knock things down or climb on counters and try to get food that wasn't his. I think this was something they weren't supposed to have right away. This was a treat that we were supposed to give both cats. It was made for them, but yeah, they got into it early. There's the bellies. $20. Okay, here we go. Now we've got starting to get photo bombs. I think this was Easter one year. Patch always had whatever was going on, whatever we were doing, he had to come explore it. He had to come check and see what all of the hubbub was. Buttons would watch, like I said, watch from afar from his cat tree. But Patch would always be right in the mix. To the point where that later in his life, he loved to walk underneath our feet, and we would step on his tail all the time. It was the worst. But he kept doing it. Didn't quite learn his lesson from any of those. There he is, sleeping on the head again. It's almost like he had a sense about him when Dreamer would have like a headache or migraine or something like that. He would go lay on her head. He knew that his purring and stuff like that could comfort her. And we kept the rocking chair for a long time, even after the kids were born. So the cats kept sleeping in it. He said essentially it was their chair at one point. Yep. Yep, there's more photobombing Patch. Always had to be in the action. This is Christmas. This is the beginning for Michelle and Patch. This is the early days of them getting along and creating their friendship, their bond together. Michelle was always really good with him too. Being very gentle. Patch in a box. He would love to explore the kids' toys. This is one of Jeff's Minecraft things that he had. And you know cats. If it fits, it sits, and that's a box. So of course he'd be in it. He would hang out in the kids' room. This is them both hanging out with me at one point. This is Patch on my head, because I think he was trying to make me feel better at one point. Like, he had a weird innate sense of being able to do that, which was cool. But you can see, like, he looks like a big water bottle. He looks like those water bottles that you see in old-timey, like, movies or whatever, the big pink ones. Like, that's his shape. He's water bottle shape. He was a big guy. He was a big guy for a long time. Loaf Cat. He, like, literally, like... He was a big loaf. Thanks, Bryce, for putting your points towards our treat for our assistant, Zora. Appreciate it. She's outside. She's hanging out in the rain. It's raining here. We got a Loafy boy. He would try his best, like I said, to cheer you up. If your head didn't feel good, he would try to lay on it, purr for you. This is Michelle trying to pick up the big ass cat. You can see how big he was. This is Michelle when she was, let's see, 2014, so she would have been 4 years old at this time. But yeah, he was a chunk. Like, he was a big chunk. And you think, oh man, he must be eating like Button's food too. And like, no, he was just eating his, and he just stored it like a big goober. But he let the kids do it. He would let the kids pick him up, throw him around a little bit. He was okay with it. He never got mad at him. He let him put jewelry on it. He was okay. So he had the nickname of Pretty Patch at one point. Because one, like I said before, he would dip his nose in Dreamer's blush, and then here he would go hang out in their room, and then they would Michelle would put jewelry on him, and he would be pretty, and he was okay with that. He was just like, I don't necessarily enjoy this, but I'm going to let you do it because I don't want to do anything about it. Essentially what he was. He was, like you said, big loaf. He has those eyes. He's like, God dang it. He's cuddling with Dreamer. He was a big cuddle muffin. He definitely loved that. They would also, when we weren't home, they would try to take over our bed and lay on our pillows like this. That was quite often that they did that. Each one would pick a side too. Of course, I got Patch laying on my pillow. Yes, I'm on that side. I'm still on that side. This was not okay. Him trying to get away with laying on tables and stuff like that. But it was funny. It was cute for that moment, brief moment. Then he had to get shooed off of there. He also started, so when we would take off the pillows at nighttime, we would throw them on the floor. And sometimes he'd be like, oh, look, a bed for me. And he would just lay on one of the pillows on the floor. He started doing that with towels and stuff too. Also, he was a Jedi at one point. Didn't know if you knew that. He had the purple lightsaber. He was really cool. He also had the red lightsaber behind him. So it was a weird dichotomy for him. He was trying to figure out who he was. Always the Wanderer. Appropriate for today, right? Always checking out. This is another Christmas time that we went through. Always having to be around in it. When he finally figured out how the heater vents worked and that the heater gods would bless him with warm air that he could just lay on, yeah, he was set for life. He's just like, oh yeah, no, I'm good. I got this. I understand how this works. Sora is still definitely scared of the heater vents. And Patch, I think, used to laugh at Sora for it because he'd be like, dude, you're missing out. Like, this is awesome. It blows right on my belly. It's so warm. He's very happy. Just a little curled up guy. And sometimes he would come out and hang out with us outside. It wasn't very often. He did have one adventure when we were this is the funny part about him passing away this weekend, is that at one point in, what year was that? 2007-8. He actually escaped out the back door. Like, it was slightly cracked, and Buttons and him had gone outside, and when we realized what had happened, we opened up the slider, and Buttons came running back in because he didn't like being outside very much. But Patch, he was gone. He was gone for like 2 or 3 days, and we tried desperately to look for him, and Dreamer was devastated because she had thought she had lost him forever. And we didn't know what else to do. We had looked for him the night that he had disappeared. We drove around the neighborhood looking for him and stuff like that. Nowhere to be found. And then 2 or 3 days later, we were getting to that point where we're like, he's not coming back. We've lost him forever. We were very, very, very sad about that. And Dreamer, for some reason, was just like, and she was having a hard time sleeping, so she went to sleep on the couch in the living room. And that morning, she hears a sound on our front door, because we had one of those screen doors on the front. She hears this scrambling, scratching sound in the front door, coming from the front door. So she runs out there and she starts yelling for me. I'm back in the bedroom sleeping. And she opens up the door, and he's hanging from the screen door, like he had finally found his way back home and realized where he was and stuff like that. I don't know if he got chased there or what had happened, but he didn't have any scratches or anything like that. So like, he didn't get picked up by anything, but yeah, he gave us like the fright of our life for 2 or 3 days when he disappeared for a little bit. So, but he came back. But he wasn't, Buttons never, like I was saying, he would go outside every once in a while, but he really stuck close to being inside. Patch, even though he had that experience early on, continued to like to explore a little bit outside. As long as he was being watched and moderated. He didn't get free will to just go out and do whatever he wanted, so he had to be on watch duty. There's a picture of Michelle and Buttons. Oh, and then the big one came. This is when Sora came into the picture. Look how little Sora is. She's just a little girl. Little. She's all floofy. But even at this time, so Patch had already experienced a few dogs in his life. We had adopted Chief, who unfortunately had passed away only after like a few months of us having him. He had been around dogs from other family members and stuff like that. So when Sora came in, he was a little bit hesitant, but I mean, for a cat his age at this time, this was in 2017, like most cats would just take off or run or hide under beds or whatever like that. Patch was just like, this is my place, I'm cool. We can be this close, I'm not worried about it. He's like, I'm not quite as big as you, but I got the weight on you, so it doesn't matter what you do. If you mess with me, I'm gonna mess with you, kind of thing. So, let's see, I gotta zoom out on that one. But they slowly became friends, Patch and Sora. Lots more head sleepings, a lot closer to cuddling. It was a hope and a dream that Sora and Patch would cuddle together at some point someday. I think this might have been the closest that they got. And this was just by happenstance, by accident kind of thing, where she just kind of rolled over and he was right there on the bed. But yeah, it never quite materialized, but the Sora and Patch developed a relationship, especially after Buttons passed away, where as we get through some more of these photos and stuff like that, you'll see like they started eating together and they would check on each other when each other weren't around and stuff like that, and they kind of took care of each other a little bit, which is cool. So always very mom centric. Patch was. He loved Dreamer very, very much, and she loved him very much. You could always find him whenever she would come home. He would follow her around. He would wait for her to either sit on the couch or lay down somewhere, and then he would jump up either on her or somewhere next to her, kind of like this, kind of haphazardly on a pillow slash arm of the sofa kind of thing. He'd also find himself in the little beanbag chair that we had sometimes, make himself a little den there. Lots of cuddles. Still every once in a while giving us a little, preview of the bellies, but not as frequent now. He also liked when Michelle would make little forts, either for him or for herself, and then he would try to claim them for himself. So that was always fun. Michelle and Patch developed a pretty good relationship. She, I think by the time when Buttons passed away, she wasn't old enough really to develop a relationship with him. So that one wasn't as hard, but the Patch being around for so long, and then when Michelle started taking on like feeding duties and stuff like that as part of her chores, then the both of them kind of developed a really close relationship. She didn't get to do that with Buttons because she was little at that time. So yep, more of a Sora and Patch just being kosher with each other, being chill. They would hang out a lot. They would watch things out the front window a lot. Happened quite often. Lots of photos of them together. Lots of little balls. Little sleepy balls. This is 2019, so he still had, we're still 7 years away. He would also, So at one point, Patch had his own food bowl and water bowl, and he would refuse to drink out of his water bowl and instead drink out of Sora's water bowl. So he would kind of contort himself into getting up onto the little stand I built here for Sora in order to drink the water. So yeah, both of them totally chill with each other. Can be in the same room, could be on the same couch, could be almost, like I said, so close to just cuddling with each other. I think if Patch would have been able to cuddle, or if Sora would have let Patch cuddle with her one time and feel the warmth that Sora produces, I think he would have been in love with her even more than he already was. But yeah, able to share space with each other very, very easily. No problems at all. So close. I think, yeah, like this might have been the closest one where they were actually like touching, where they kind of rolled over onto each other. And even Sora was just like, dude, this is not normal. There was quite a time where we took a lot of photos of them almost cuddling. Oh, this is Patch stealing a piece of a steak from from Jeff's Taco at one point. Against all of my wants and desires, the other people in my household kept doing stuff like this. I asked them not to, but they would do this every once in a while. And you can see Patch got a steak and a chip and a piece of cheese. Don't ask me, I don't know. I don't know if he ate it or not, because it was pretty spicy. The steak is pretty spicy. Chipotle steak. Yep. Just hanging out, watching stuff outside. That one's just of Sora. I missed that one. And this is us slowly seeing if we can get the two to eat close together. If that bother each other, if they would leave each other alone, if they would trust each other to not, mess with each other's food and stuff like that. And it took a little time. We did the classic, start 3 feet away and then move it to 2 feet and then move it to 1 foot. And Sora never worried about Patch trying to eat her food or anything like that. So she was a good dog. He was a good boy. He done did good. Yep, there we go. Nice and close. And they were all fine with that. Not worried at all. All right, peoples, we are up to our first ad break here. Oh, I think Sora wants to come in. What do you think? I think she might be ready to come inside. I should probably go let her inside. All right, give me a second. We'll be right back. Okay, dokie. Ah. Now she's comfy. Like I said, it is raining outside, so not her favorite weather to be out in. Okay, welcome back, everybody. All right. Just responding to a message that I got. So Sora, take over the show for the second. She's doing great. Let's see. Go back to our. I'll think about this reply later. I'll work on that. Keep going here a little bit. We got lots more photos to go through. Lots of potential cuddle times. Close, but not close enough. This would have been this is 2019, so this would have been after Buttons had passed away. Then it was just Patch and Sora together. Buttons and Sora kind of had, like, Buttons tolerated Sora in certain respects. Did not trust Sora as much as Patch did. Patch was just like these two almost had each other's back, which was funny. But Buttons wasn't like angry or mad or anything like that, because there are a lot of cats that when a dog or something like that comes into the situation, they'll start having behavior issues like scratching, or they'll pee or poop in different areas and stuff like that of the house, you know, just kind of to show that their disapproval of whatever this was going on. Buttons was never like that. He always kept an eye on Sora, and Sora was also a puppy when she first met Buttons and stuff like that. So There was lots of like growling from Buttons during that time, being like, hey bro, like, you stay away from me. You can be in the house, but you just kind of have to keep your distance away from me. So that was about the only thing between those two, but I don't think I ever saw Patch growl at Sora once. And even they played with each other at one point too. Like Sora would chase Patch around a little bit, and then Patch would would become the dog, and Sora would become the cat, and he would chase her, and she would run around like a scared little schoolgirl kind of thing, like playground style stuff. It was funny. It was awesome. It was very cute for them. Companionship across the breeds, which is awesome. Yeah, once again, really close, but didn't quite get there. Kept trying to convince him, being like, you know what? Just cuddle once. You'll know. He's like, nope. I think it was more of a Sora thing. I don't think Sora, as much as she kind of tried and I think she had more apprehension to him cuddling with her than he did with her. Like, I think he might have tried if she might have let him. She would always get up and kind of take off, is what would happen. So we would get these momentary photos of them together, and then she'd get off the bed and take off and go to the living room. Just be like, I'm good. Close. More close. Like I said, we had like a whole period of time where they would do that quite often. That's why we have so many photos of it. Patch in the dog bowl again. Patch with a little dog. This was funny. This dog was definitely smaller than Patch. he did not know what to make of this. He's like, what is this? But he never whacked at it or anything like that. No. Totally okay with each other eating food. Lots of sleepy times. Oh, there's a close one of Sora. She actually put her face on him. Yeah, Patch would just let her do it. He wasn't worried about it at all. Oh, then he started developing this thing where he would drink out of her bowl, and then he would put his little paw through the hole and do the little swimming motion with his toe beans. He got started getting weird. Back to being a heater god. I think I made the joke on, I forget which social media it was, but that Patch was an HVAC tech, and he was just checking to make sure that the flow was good for the vents and stuff like that. It was a good joke, if I do say so myself, and that's all. I am saying so. More really close ties together. More heater time. Oh, this was one where we had seen on Instagram a thing where if you put a tape square on the ground, that the cat would go over and he would sit in it. We tried it. I think he went over and checked it out, but I don't think he ever sat in it, but just for shits and giggles. Or maybe he did go sit in it. One of the animals I had to put in the square just for funsies. It might have been him. Because whatever the joke was, or whatever the funny part was, where they were supposed to, he didn't do it. He's just like, nah, I'm cool. I don't need to be in the square. So I had to put him in the square just for funsies. This is a double cuddle. This is a Dreamer, Michelle, and a Patch. You can see Michelle has gotten much bigger by now. Still He knew when people needed comfort, so he would come over and cuddle with them and purr and stuff like that. He was aware. This is how, like, dogs and cats generally aren't this, you know, like, kind to each other and respectful of each other's space like this. Like, most dogs would have jumped on the cat being like, get away from me, you know. I think Sora knew, like, when she came into the house and she got the smell of the house, and the cats had been there for a while and everything else like that. And, you know, Buttons did his thing where he asserted his dominance and everything. But I think she knew that not that she had to be lesser than, but that this was their spot. This was their house, and that she was not necessarily a guest in it, but that she had to play by their rules and kind of, you know, they were the top dogs, which I'm glad. Yep. I was half expecting him at one point to start climbing up there and to get the water. He ended up not doing the leg thing and just keep doing the paw through the middle. But yeah, he's just a weirdo burrito. Hanging out with me, cuddling. Patch had a very unique relationship with Dreamer. And he would come cuddle with me every once in a while, but it was a blue moon where, especially during the end part of Button's life, he was very much my buddy. Like, if I was staying up playing games late at night, he would come curl up on my hip and sleep next to me, and he was my buddy. So, but I got rare chances, and I even got a rare chance a week or so ago where he came and laid on me, and it had been a long time since he had cuddled with me, and he fell asleep on me, passed out. Just some beans under the curtain, just some beans. He would do that sometimes too. Just sleepy boys. Sora would tuck herself under the covers, under the bed frame of our bed, like a goober, and Pat would just go lie and watch her and be like, "What are you doing?" But so this was the funny thing about Patch and Sora's relationship, is they kind of started taking on each other's mannerisms. So if Sora was laying on the ground, Patch would go lay on the ground. That's kind of where we get this photo from and stuff like that. So if he was up on the bed, then she would come up on the bed. And they kind of mimicked each other in a lot of different ways once it was just the two of them in the house and stuff like that. So, like, that's where we feel like they developed a pretty good bond together, is because they really started taking on each other's mannerisms to the point where, so we just saw when we went to our break here that Sora was at the back door, right? Patch would actively monitor that window right there, the glass door. And when Sora would show up at the door, he would meow, like he would yell at us to be like, "Hey, the dog's at the door, she wants to come in." Like, he was actively watching out for her, which is funny. "Hey, my friend is at the door, can you let her in?" kind of thing. Peas in a pod. Oh, that's Sora and Oscar. There we go. There's Pietro. Yep, sleeping on the back of the... Remember I said we were going to come back to this where Patch was sleeping on the back of the couch almost up against a wall? Yep, see? We made it back around. This is Patch asserting his dominance over Michelle's fort that she built in the living room. He was just like, "Ah, yes, you have made me a throne, thank you." So I think Michelle had to sacrifice some toys to him in order to appease him at that time. Back in the bean. He did like the bean. He had a stint with the sleeping in the bean for a while. He'd make a little nest for himself. Oh, there's Dreamer's toes in there. We'll get rid of those. We can make a lot of money off of those, but we're not going to do it. Every once in a while, we would catch him sleeping on in our closet. He would go in there and hang out. Not very often, but every once in a while. Just chilling. Lots of the same things. Him checking out our turkey gravy boat from our 5K that we ran during Thanksgiving. No gravy was in it though, so he was very sad about that. But we did put some kibble in there so that he had something at the very least. Couldn't tell if he enjoyed that or thought we were messing with him. Family time. Everybody would hang out together. More cuddles. Like I said, there was a lot of those type of photos. Patch very much adored Dreamer. Very, very, very much. Sleeping in Michelle's laundry basket, because, you know, stinky laundry. Nice place to sleep. Cuddle times. So close once again. So close. There's the three of us, just chillaxing. There's me. Sometimes he would do this where I would be chilling and he would come up and just be like, all right, I'm going to put myself right here. And I'd be like, oh, okay, we're doing this. Cool. That's the thing. Thank you for licking your butt right in front of me. I appreciate that. Little toe beans. Starting to get a little bit crusties there. Little dried out. But still multicolored. Ah, yes, the sun. The sun was his other favorite thing. If there was a patch of sun coming in on the ground, especially when we had this little ottoman up against our window here, he enjoyed the snot out of that. He loved that. Okay. Distracted slightly. I started doing a little bit more like photography style, like close-ups and stuff like that for him. Just kind of capturing little moments, especially with how good some of the cameras and stuff on our phones got at one point. Just a little guy. He did end up, so you can't see it here, but he broke one of his canine teeth at one point. So when he gets a little bit further in his life, you can start seeing like one tooth sticking down and the other one not, kind of thing. Got a little chip tooth. More sun. He loved that little spot. He started to get the pattern down when Sora would go on walks in the morning time, and he would go over to the door and wait like he was going to go on the walk too. So Sora's sitting here waiting for Dreamer to get the leash and stuff like that, and Patch is waiting for the door to open. And sometimes he would like literally follow them out the front of the house, down the stoop, down across some of the pavers out in the front, like get partway down towards the street. We'd have to shoo him back in, but like he felt like like I said, they started taking on each other's mannerisms. Like he thought he was a dog and he needed to go on a walk with them. It was quite funny. It was cute. It was very cute for a while. But Patch was one of the softest cats ever. Even down to on Sunday, right before he passed away, he started to get a lot of mats in the back around his hips and stuff like that. But from his ears down his neck and stuff like that, man, he had the velvetiest, softest fur. Like, goddamn. And he struggled for the past year to continue to keep himself clean and stuff. Like he couldn't reach around and lick himself and stuff anymore. It's part of the reason why he started getting a lot more mats. But yeah, no, that's the spot right over his front shoulders, just a little bit on his back, just the softest. He always was the softest, but he had that all the way till the end. He never got like super grungy, grimy or anything like that. There you go. I told you, back to more photos where he's stuck between a pillow and a wall. Never changed. Never changed. Yeah, more bad cat things. Trying to be on the table when he's not supposed to be on the table. Sometimes he would come visit me in the garage too while I was working on stuff. I think this was at one point when Dreamer had her treadmill in the garage, and she was walking a whole bunch on the treadmill, and he would come out there and he would just hang out with her. So we had a carpet out there and he just loved that. He was just like, oh cool, mom's out here. I get to watch her do her walking things and there's a carpet to lay on. So cool. Some of the sleeping positions continue to get weird. Yep. Don't ask me, I don't understand. The other thing that developed was that he had an obsession with Dreamer's hair, and sometimes he would chew on it, and sometimes he would just bury himself in it. Like, so this is him pushing his way through it and purring and stuff like that, but then just being totally trapped in the hair. So that was a thing for most of his existence. Here's a little Patch. Yeah, the obsession with the head. Sometimes he wouldn't make the best decisions. And he felt like he needed a teabag Dreamer. Yeah, it happens. I can't tell if he's just like, I meant to do this in this photo, or please help, I don't know what happened. I can't tell which face he's giving off here. This is the face of him just being like, oh, alright, this has happened and I just have to live with it now. Silly boy. More cuddles. Like I said, not very often, but sometimes. Lots more with Dreamer. There's a little bit of adventure outside. Supervised, of course, like I said. He desperately wanted to chase birds. This is in 2022, so 4 years ago, and he was still like, I'm going to chase the birds, and he was not that fast anymore by this point. But he still thought he was going to get those birds. Maybe even get a quail or something like that. But little sun boy behind the curtains. You can tell, so Patch was smart too. Like, he was not a dumb cat. He learned how to open doors. He learned how to kind of close doors. He learned how to use his claws to get behind these curtains and stuff like that. That's why we've got all these holes in our wonderful curtains. Is because he would just pull them and then sneak behind him, kind of thing. So, turd muffin. Love to spend some time outside. Dreamer was out there relaxing in her little kick-out chair. He would come out there and jump in her lap and just chill. We always used to warn him, be like, hey, if you see a big black shadow just come across the ground out there, and you get your butt inside, because that's the hawk running around looking for small animals to take. And you are a small animal, my friend. This is Patch working on his financial portfolio and answering some emails here. This is a good time for him. You know, he had a good time between 2022 and 2024 when he was the CEO of his own hedge fund company. Unfortunately, it ended up not working out and he had to sell the whole thing. But, you know, he made out a little bit. He ended up a little net positive on that. So it was good times. Just a sleepy boy. Like I said, sometimes he would cuddle with me. This is me and him cuddling outside. This is him sleeping in his little cat tower with one foot just ballet slipper point, ballet shoe point sticking out. This is him all twisted up in knots because he's weird. Thor and Patch. This one was always cute because it's so like they were looking at each other around the wall. Kind of like if it was like a sleepover. This is the other side of the curtain pictures that it had, where he would sleep between the slider and the curtain. Sometimes he would like to sleep on our gaming table when we weren't paying attention. He would sneak in and jump on that, especially if we had it like getting ready to store it here. He was mischievous in some ways. Not a lot of ways, but some ways. He definitely took advantage of like chairs and stuff that would be close to our kitchen island. He would use those to get up on the island at nighttime. And then as soon as he started to hear like our footsteps coming, he would jump down because he was like, I know I'm gonna get in trouble. Smart little turd. Ah, the water drinking. Yes. I don't know if anybody else's cat does this, but getting water straight from the tap in the bathroom, huge thing for Patch. Love that. Did that all the way until this weekend. That was one of the big things. Like some of the signs that he exhibited when he got down to the end here was he stopped eating his food. He was stopped interested, and food was one of his most favorite things in the world. He would run as soon as he knew, if we were in the kitchen for any reason, he would run in there like, food. So food was one of the indicators, and then when he stopped wanting to drink water, it was like, oh, yeah, you can't survive without water, dude. That's not gonna work. So there's a couple other signs, him starting to want to hide and stuff like that. Kind of gave us the sign that he wasn't feeling well, and that it was about time. He was ready to go. Also, Patch was a master puzzle crafter as well. Very good at it. You can see him. He put together that whole top corner all by himself too. All by himself. He was perfect at it. He's hiding under Michelle's bed down there. There was another heater vent under there, so it was like essentially he had his own little sauna underneath that bed for a while. Sometimes daughter would put out her little bed for the dolls that she had. And Patch one time claimed it for himself, being like, oh, thank you, this is for me. I love this. he did end up spending a lot of time in Michelle's room. She had a really good, during the daytime, the sun comes through her window really, really well. So he spent a lot of time on her little bean too. Hey, Dreamer. Dreamer's home. Lots more photos of the two together. This is the one where we thought he had put himself into timeout. He was just staring at the curtain. It was just kind of funny. Hi. It's going good. It's taking a lot longer than I thought, but we're getting there.
I got a lot of pictures.
I got a lot of pictures. Just being a loaf. Just being a goober. He slept really, really weird. He was a weirdo. And this was, he did this quite often where he would stare at people's food.
Can you pause that picture?
It just paused. Yeah.
That's your kid growing his first stash, too.
Don't say that on stream. I get mad at you. Yeah, Patch wanted human food like really, really badly. He didn't get it very often, but he wanted it. He would visit us quite often and sit on. We have a bench at our table, and he would sit at the bench like as if he was going to get a plate of food. Sometimes he definitely got more brave as he got older, like trying to like, hey, give me that kind of thing. Whereas when he was younger, he would just sit and watch kind of stuff. Just hanging out, just chillaxing. Back on his back again. Yeah, look at the fur. It's just super silky smooth. Lots of pleats in the fur. No mats at all. Just super soft. Softliest little cat. There he is. There's on Michelle's bean in her room. There was quite a number of years where he spent time in there. And he wasn't scared of the treadmill at all. He would walk on that. I mean, not like walk on it, but like he would stand on it and look at us like he wasn't worried about it. Sora's deathly scared of that thing. Cuddle in with his little blanket. Technically not his, but it was ours, but he would lay on it quite often. Oh, that was the other thing. Patch loved broccoli. That was one of his favorite things. Little butter on that broccoli. Oof. He would eat that thing up. He was very happy with broccoli. Such a goober. Oh, back to the more pizza shots. Oh, back to... Oh, we've got doubles of those. More hanging out with Dreamer. More helping taking care of Dreamer. Hanging out with her cousin's dog, Rusty. Like I said, he never really had a problem with other animals unless they like tried to come after him or tried to mess with him. Then he would turn and be like, nope, I'm bigger than you. And they would be like, okay, cool, I'm leaving you alone. Because like for pound, Patch outweighed Rusty here at that time. So, but no, like they could chill as long as the animals that came into the house were chill, and Patch was fine. He didn't worry about them at all. They were of no concern. This is Yoga Cat. He was helping Dreamer with her stretching and posing. Yoga Cat. Yoga Cat. More cuddles. Yelling at Michelle to go into her room. Sometimes he would just sit there and meow and she'd have to let him in. Every once in a while he would go visit Jerf in his room. Not very often. Especially as it got more messy. It made it harder to go in there. Just being weird. That one's an interesting position. I think he's doing a somersault. I think that's what's happening there. Tail in the face. Okay, we might have been messing with him sometimes, and we actually put a cookie on him because I wanted to see if he would wake up, and he did not. This one was me. This was me messing around. Got a jet, but just wanted to say I love you, bro. Keep all of you in my thoughts today. Thank you, Bryce. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Thanks for dropping by. Some toe beans. Yeah, like I said, once we got them able to eat next to each other, they started to develop a habit where they would actually wait for each other, and if one of them wasn't there, they wouldn't eat until the other animal was there. So, and that was vice versa. If Patch wasn't there, Sora would wait until he showed up. If Sora wasn't there, Patch would wait until she showed up. So, like I said, friendship and a bond, those two developed. This is Patch hanging out with me. Hanging out with Mom. Lots of hanging out with moms. Helping Mom with work here. That was a good one. I mean, he was a stockbroker at one point, so that made sense that he would help out with that. A stock analyst? Maybe he was an analyst. I don't remember his exact title or job. Patch has had many jobs throughout his life. He was very active. He was using me as a balance to keep himself from falling off the pillow. Or yoga cat. He was very helpful. He was not in the way at all. Yeah, then he started becoming more brave, where he started being like, hey, there's a plate here. There might be something on there that I might want. I think once he got to, this would have been him at 18 years of age, where, you know how some old people, when they get to a certain point, they're just like, fuck it, I'm just going to do whatever. I think we really think Patch developed part of that. Because like his obsession with food and checking plates and bowls and stuff like that and being around you when you had something like ramped up to level 10. Like he was very much just like, oh, just give me stuff. Like that was his mentality. And you can see he's starting to slow down a little bit, a lot more sleepy times, a lot more regimented, like water, food breaks. Most of our streams over the past year have been Patch just resting and sleeping and chilling. That's been his life for the past year. Every once in a while we would get, I think this is the rare blep. The daughter has like a ton of photos on her phone that she's taken, but yeah, the rare blep that he would give us sometimes. It was cute. That's just Sora. Yep, really close to each other. A lot more photos of he's using me as something to sleep on there. There you go. There's the photo. You can see he doesn't really have that canine on that on his left. Let's see, his right side, left side of his face there. That's the one that broke off. So he didn't really need it anymore because he was starting to get softer foods by this time. But he got to meet his mini-me with the Lego cat. I think it would have been funny if they had green eyes for that cat. That would have made it perfect. No, the eyes are blue for the Lego cat. Yeah. But like, that shows you right there that a lot of the tuxedo cats have very similar markings as Patch does. is because they mimicked it after, you know, typical tuxedo cats. So very common. Stuffing his little face in Dreamer's ear. Sucking on the sweater, yeah. But you can start to see stuff is starting to slow down a little bit. A lot more nap times during the day. They're just little babies. Lots of cuddles, lots of loves. We had to cut down his tree, so it used to be like 3 or 4 feet tall, and he started to have trouble getting up to the taller part of it, so I cut it in half and then took his favorite part, which was up at the top, and screwed it to the base here so that he didn't have as far to jump up, and he was super happy with that. He was a little elevated off of the floor, which was nice, and he didn't have to go, you know, jump up as high to get into his favorite little perch spot. So we ended up dubbing this the bassinet. If you've been around the stream, you've seen him many times in his little bassinet. Buried in the blankets.
Weighted blanket.
Yeah, a weighted blanket. That was a weighted blanket. And he was just like, oh, I like this. This is cool. Still hanging out with Sora. Still best friends. We would talk to each other. Would call to each other when they wanted to know where each other were. He started developing, or no, it's not developing, but he started to lose his hearing around this time. So this would be about when he started to do his loud yells for us. I may have heard several of those on the streams over the past year. But yeah, started to become hard of hearing. Just a little bit. More yoga cats. Weird stretched out position here. Looks like he's been scared stiff, essentially, is what he's done, and then fallen over like a baby goat, essentially. Weirdo. Anytime, like I said, Dreamer would be eating lunch or something like that, you sure should. Patch was there, and he was looking over your shoulder, being like, "Hey, what you got there? You got any extra for me? Can I just have a smidge, just a little bit, just a wee little bit." There's just Sora. There's Patch. You can see he's got a little food in his whiskers and on his nose. Starting to become a little bit harder to, like I said, clean himself off with that stuff. More and more common that he's starting to get food just smeared all over himself. Just a little bit. But just an old guy. Still super soft. Even by this time, he was still able to do a lot of things, but starting to slow down a whole bunch. You can tell he thinned out a lot this last year, because this is 2025. He thinned out a bunch, and we even tried to get him like high calorie food and try to give it to him as much as possible, and it probably helped him a little bit, but yeah, he was not going to get back to his fighting weight that he was before. Just a little guys. Lots more food smeared all over his face. And just an old guy now. Just trying his best. Oh yeah, there's weird eating positions that he would get into sometimes. This is when we think some of his hips and stuff like that started hurting a lot more, where we started to look into getting him softer foods so that it wasn't as difficult to try to eat as well. Just cuddles. This was one of his favorite positions over the past few months, where he would just lay partially on his little cat tree and over one of the heater vents. We streamed many a times with him just hanging out right there. This was your sister's.
Charlie's baby carriage.
It's Charlie's baby carriage? Yeah. Very, like I said, even all the way into this point, he was very curious about things that would be brought in the house. So like when sister-in-law brought over her baby and stuff like that, Patch had to inspect the car seat to make sure that it was properly equipped and able to take care of the babies and stuff like that. So he was an inspector of that. That was his job. One of his many jobs. The water, hanging out with the boy.
We got that so we could put it with the picture of him with the boy when he was a baby.
Do we have another one of him with?
My mom was really little baby.
With Jeff? Yeah. Cute. There's a sleeping little boy. I have to go through and I would have to clean his eyes out, get the boogers out of there, his eye boogers out of there. This is during one of our stream times. He decided to be underneath the cat tree. That was the one day he ever did that, and he never did it ever again. This is Drooly Boy. We don't know what this was. This happened once where he just had this big old thing of drool hanging off of his face. And he didn't realize it, and it wouldn't fall. It just kind of stuck with him. It was the thickest drool ever. Silly boy. Yeah. But that's it. That's all the photos I put together. I've got videos and stuff, but I'm gonna wait on those. So I just wanted to go down memory lane, check out some photos and stuff like that. I'll probably, you know what, I'm probably gonna roll up the stream for the day right here. There's a lot to go through, and I'm happy. I wasn't sure how I was gonna react, and I think I got choked up a couple times, but I was able to make it through, and I'm glad I did. The sheer amount of time that Patch got to be with us is crazy, and the experiences we got to have, all the places we got to go with him and do, and gosh, that's just cool. So thanks for hanging out with me and going down this memory lane. I know it's not the art kind of stuff that I have normally planned out on here, but it's a significant moment that I wanted to do and to share, and especially since this character is getting ready to be debuted in book number 3. So it's sad that he passed away this year at the same time that book 3 is coming out, but he gets to live on. He gets to continue to go and have adventures, and I get to be creative and tell basically all the stories that we went through today. They will show up at some point in some form in the books to come, which is kind of cool. So Patch has left me a legacy of memories to play with and to have to continue to tell fun stories with. So I miss you, Patch. I thank you at the same time. Thank you for all the memories. So, all right, before I get too weepy-eyed here and start crying, I'm going to call it a day for now. I'm going to go chillax and rest for a little bit before I go pick up daughter for the second half of our day. And do all those type of things. So, like I said, thank you for coming by. Thank you, Bryce, for hanging out for a little bit. Thank you, Alex, for dropping by at the very beginning. I appreciate that. I will be back on Wednesday. We should have some more exciting fun things to do. I had planned on one thing for today, and the materials I had ordered ended up not coming this weekend, so it almost ended up perfect that today was the going back through memory stream, so I can get the rest of my stuff together and have some fun on Wednesday. So I promise I will. I say I promise. I got lots to do. I'm excited because I get to do a bunch more things with this character, and I think by Wednesday I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay. And I'll be able to get back to work. I'll get to continue to honor the memory of two of the friends of the family that we had on some patch. So yeah. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming by. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Monday, and I will see you all next time.